What's up, YouTube? Today we are going to be looking at what BMW is cooking. So this video was made by carwow and it says new um 1300 horsepower BMW M3 revealed. So let's see what BMW have been cooking all this while.
BMW has just revealed the all-new G84 M3. Well, sort of, but the design is actually one of the least shocking things about this incredible new car. For starters, it has more than 1300 horsepower, and it uses fans to produce active downforce. Just
I want to say that the front look nice, the front look nice. I don't understand the back. The front looks very nice. The front of the car looks nice.
like a McMurtry Spearlink. But that's not all. The head of BMW's M division has also confirmed that you'll be able to buy the new M3 with either a fully electric drivetrain, or if that doesn't float your boat, you'll still be able to get a good old-fashioned 3-litre twin-turbo straight-six petrol. And in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about these cars. I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching carwow. This is Frank Van Meel. He's the boss of BMW's M division, and he recently confirmed that the next M3 will get an internal combustion engine. Hurrah! And the option of a fully electric powertrain. This stems from BMW's decision to use two different platforms for the next 3 series. Electric versions will get a brand new.
This car remind me of is it the one or these nuts? I know the Lotus admin was trolling BMW because of this car. Like back in this, I think it was last year or last 2 years. The Lotus admin was trolling BMW badly on TikTok because of this car. Because this car looks ugly as hell. Ugly. You're calling it these nuts. So it was very, very ugly. It's an ugly car. I think BMW was advertising it as a car that can change color or something like that. But I don't know. Let's keep on watching.
Neue Klasse platform, as it's known to motoring journalists. But internal combustion engine versions, including the next 6-cylinder M3, will get an uprated version of the current car's CLAR chassis. That's CLAR chassis. Now, before we get into the crazy electric version with over 1300 horsepower, let's talk about the forthcoming M3 with an old-school petrol engine. Starting with its design, actually. You see, BMW hasn't revealed the car just yet, but I know it'll have the same silhouette as these M340i prototypes. They're dead
So the car we have been seeing, is it the real M3 or what car is that one? If this is the real M3.
easy to spot because they have upgraded brakes and quad exhausts. Underneath all that camouflage, the design is inspired by the Neue Klasse concept from a few years ago, and that looked like this. The new M3 will share many of these features, so it'll look completely different than the outgoing car, as shown in these exclusive carwow images. The famous and very controversial bucktooth grills have gone. Instead, you get a set of super wide nostrils that completely surround the headlights, a bit like wraparound sunglasses. The new M3 will get wider wheel arches, more aggressive bumpers, and lower side skirts. But the most important upgrades come at the back. Check out these 4 massive tailpipes. There'll also be plenty of redesigned aerodynamic elements, including a huge diffuser and a tasty lip spoiler on the boot lid. But let's talk about what's going on underneath the bonnet. Unlike the 4-cylinder AMG C63 hybrid, the next BMW M3 isn't downsizing. The iconic 3-litre straight-six is getting a new lease of life, partly thanks to a U-turn from the European Commission. The EU was planning to introduce strict Euro 7 emissions rules in 2025, which had the potential to make large petrol engines extinct. Mercedes CEO Markus Schaffer said his brand would have to reduce the number of engine variants by about 50%, otherwise it might not meet the new targets. And BMW's CEO Oliver Zipser said that
And so these European laws and all these, climate change laws are making like the production of cars less fun. Like the cars that all these companies are making now, they seem less fun based on like engine types, but they are more efficient because of they have to switch. They have batteries now, and they have to, the engines they make now are way more efficient than engines they make before.
the proposed start date was entirely unfeasible, and that some of the testing scenarios were totally unrealistic. Luckily for Oliver and BMW, the EU backed down. It rolled back the emissions rules, so they're basically the same as today's Euro.
Wait. Did you guys see that? That check.
The EU backed down. It rolled back the emissions rules.
Yo, did you see the tires? Did you see the tires? Does this come standard with the normal car? Like, damn, like this is cool. It's pretty cool.
So they're basically the same as today's Euro 6 regulations, and it also pushed the start date back to 2026. So what does this mean? Well, it's too late for Mercedes to put a V8 in the AMG C63. However, BMW is already working to make the current M3's 3-litre straight 6, called the S58, compatible with the updated emissions targets. One of these modifications will be a hybrid system. But don't worry, I'm not talking about the heavy plug-in hybrid system for the M5. Dirk Hacker, who's the head of development at BMW's M division, confirmed that the next M3 will use a 48-volt mild hybrid system, just like the facelifted M340i. This features a compact electric motor with around 11 horsepower to boost the engine at low revs, improve fuel economy, and therefore reduce emissions. It doesn't give you a huge power boost like the M5's 200 horsepower motor, but it's simpler, and it's cheaper, and it's a whole lot lighter. So how much power will the new straight 6 M3 actually have? Well, the basic G80 has 480 horsepower as standard, which is about 50 horsepower more than its predecessor, the F80. However, competition versions, which are the entry-level models in the United Kingdom, come with 530 horsepower. Special edition cars such as the M3 CS and M4 CSL have 550 horsepower, and the ultra limited edition 3-litre CSL had 560 horsepower. So BMW could easily boost the S58 engine to produce somewhere between 550 and 600 horsepower for the next generation M3. I know that BMW could crank the power up even further because I've raced numerous tuned M3s and M4s with way over 700 horsepower, but this wouldn't be necessary. The outgoing car is almost as quick as a 680 horsepower AMG C63, as I found out when I raced them over the standing quarter mile.
Perfect launch from everyone. He's a bit ahead, he's not anymore. He's coming back, he's coming back.
So an extra 50 horsepower should be more than enough to give the AMG engineers a few sleepless nights. But will the new M3 be quick enough to beat the forthcoming Audi RS5 Avant? Well, that car is expected to have over 550 horsepower from its twin-turbo V6 hybrid when it arrives in a few years' time. But let's get back to the new prototype that BMW has just revealed. It's called the Vision Driving Experience, or VDX for short.
I actually thought that these were effects, but from what I'm seeing right now, these are the wheels of the car. I thought that these were just, editing effects. So that's why I didn't even put much, I didn't take it seriously the first time I was seeing it. I just thought it was just editing effects.
And it shows what the M3's electric counterpart will be like when it's revealed in the next few years. The headline stats are pretty incredible. This prototype has 4 electric motors that produce a combined 1,300 horsepower. It has 5 built-in fans that deliver more than 1.2 tons of downforce from a standstill, a bit like the McMurtry Spearling, which is the quickest car I've ever driven. Here we go! 7.97, a sub 8. That tiny one-seater track car accelerates from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 1.4 seconds. This BMW concept isn't quite as quick. It's a 4-door saloon after all, and heavier. But BMW has hinted that it can still accelerate from 0 to 60 miles an hour in around 1.8 seconds. That's a few tenths of a second quicker than a Tesla Model S Plaid or a Lucid Air Sapphire. To help other drivers, or the police, keep track of what you're doing, this concept has illuminated wheels that change colour based on your throttle and brake inputs. Green means go, blue means regenerative braking is active, and orange means that you've hit the pedal hard enough to engage the massive discs and calipers.
Yo, imagine driving this car at night. Like, imagine you and your guys, like 4 or 5 cars, 4 or 5 of these cars just pulling up at night. To be like you're in the club on the road. Everybody's wheels is just green, yellow, blue, red, like the club. You understand? Damn, the concept on the wheels is nice. I like it. I like it.
a full-on friction braking. But there is a downside, and it's a big one. You see, this car is just a prototype. BMW is using the VDX as what is known as a test mule. It's there so that BMW can test different things and decide which new technologies get fitted to future road cars. This means the active downforce system is most likely a pipe dream, for a future BMW M3 at least. And you can bet the astonishing 1300 horsepower output will get reined in significantly. Half of that, or around 650 to 700 horsepower. This is a much more feasible figure to expect in a production car, which can't tread on the toes of the M5. But the quad motor setup is something BMW is very keen to utilise because it's an integral part of the brand's new Heart of Joy vehicle dynamics program. This bundles all the separate control systems into one high-powered computer. It handles everything from braking, traction control, stability programs, torque vectoring, and even charging the battery. Using one powerful system, like Tesla does, instead of several connected computers, like legacy manufacturers tend to in their EVs, means the VDX can crunch numbers and respond to changing conditions about 10 times quicker than BMW's latest performance cars. Which is handy when you've got 1300 horsepower to play with. The system is primarily designed for EVs, and it'll first appear on the all-new iX3 when that car arrives later this year. However, it's reportedly compatible with cars using a limited slip differential, like the next 6-cylinder M3. So it's possible the next BMW Super Saloon could have all sorts of exciting new driving modes thanks to the VDX's Heart of Joy tech. Something the new M3 will almost certainly share with the
Wow. If this is the interior, this is beautiful. This is very, very beautiful. Like, if this is the interior.
concept is its dashboard, which is based on a design BMW
Oh, it's
revealed
the
at the
interior.
CES Consumer Show earlier this year in Las Vegas. The minimalist layout sort of reminds me of the Tesla Model 3, although BMW has added a heads-up display. Good idea that. Tesla, take note. The central screen is tilted over towards the
Are these crystals? This, I think there's another one here. Are those crystals?
driver to make some parts much easier to reach, and BMW has kept traditional stalks behind the steering wheel. Something, yet again, Tesla should take note of. Besides some stalks, the new M3 is also expected to keep the outgoing car's all-wheel drive system, an 8-speed automatic gearbox, which isn't a bad thing after all. The standard M3 handles brilliantly and it launches superbly, but the latest CS models are absolute rocket ships thanks to some clever software tweaks. To give you an example, I recently raced an M4 CS with this setup against a Lamborghini Huracan Sturato, and I couldn't believe how well the M4 launched.
Fastest, boy. Still fastest, boy. Come get some.
Blew the Lambo out of the water. Blew it.
I know BMW understates the performance
Yeah.
figures of its cars, but the M4 CS did 0 to 60 miles an hour in less than 3 seconds. That's almost half a second quicker than BMW claims, which is ridiculous. Unfortunately, that CS model might be one of the last M4s ever, because rumours have been circulating for almost a year that BMW isn't planning to renew the 4 Series after this generation. That would mean no more M4. But I reckon it's a small price to pay to keep the 4-door 6-cylinder M3 alive for as long as possible. Speaking of price, how much is this new M3 going to cost? Well, if BMW uses a modified version of the current 3 Series chassis and an evolution of its S58 engine, you'd hope it wouldn't cost too much more than today's M3. However, the growing rarity of high-performance saloon cars with large internal combustion engines means BMW might be in a position to charge quite a bit more for this new model. So I wouldn't be surprised if the next M3 comes with a price tag close to £100,000. But we'll have to find out when the
£100,000. Isn't that the price of, you know, a 7 Series? Like beginning starting price from £100,000. Isn't that the starting price for 7 Series? I think when the S Class came in newly was, I think starting price was like 100 and something thousand pounds up. And an M3 is going to start with that. Yeah, how much now? How much would be the like M5 up? It's like I think it's too much. It's too much. It should be lower than that. Me, I was thinking like 60, maybe £60,000. You understand? That's what I was thinking it would be.
car goes on sale, probably in 2027 or even 2028. However, that'll still be a lot cheaper than the forthcoming electric M3 version. While it won't have 1300 horsepower like the VDX prototype, you can bet it'll still cost around the same as a Tesla Model S Plaid, so close to £120,000.
So guys, I've reached the end of the video, and you can type down your thoughts about this new BMW M3. The other car that I saw, like the one that was showing mainly, that had you know, the beautiful tires. I don't know if it's actually, I don't know if the M3 is going to actually be like that, because they showed another one, which got me confused, you understand? But the car that they showed the most, the front looked nice, but the back to me, I don't really fancy. I don't really fancy the back. It look ugly. And if, from what Matthew is saying, he didn't even talk about how the back headlights were. So you don't, it's to show you that the back headlights look ugly. He only spoke about the front headlight. So that's how I feel about these new cars I'm seeing right here. But if it's for power and what BMW is known for, I think the car will be an amazing car for real. So thank you guys for tuning into this episode, and catch you guys on the next one. Bye.